If I were to ask you how much you spent eating out last month, could you tell me an exact number? Probably not. I can't tell you an exact number off the top of my head either. I could calculate it fairly quickly based off the way I keep track of my budget. But the point is, you probably don't know how much you're actually spending eating out, unless you have some fancy budget tracker. And even then, you probably aren't very happy with the amount of money you're spending eating out. And so by eating out in this video, I want to define it as when you actually go out and eat and you pay for a meal and you tip, or maybe you don't tip because it's fast food, or you go through a drive-through, or you get it DoorDash to your house. Those are all considered eating out. And the point is, you're spending way too much money eating out and you probably don't know it. And if you do know it, you just don't want to actually look at it because you know deep down you're spending too much. And I know, as someone who doesn't eat out much, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my rule coming up, even as someone who does eat out much, I know I spend too much per month. So if you don't have any rules, if you don't have any boundaries in place, you're definitely spending way too much eating out. And here's the deal. You probably complain at some point or another that you don't have enough money. Everybody likes to say that they're broke, that they're not, whatever. They like to say they don't have enough money. It's a universal human problem that we say we don't have enough money. But the problem is, you actually do, you're just not managing it well. And here's the thing. If you can't manage your monthly income right now, say it's, I'm just gonna assume an average for this video, about $3,000. An average monthly income of somewhere around $3,000, just for this video, we're gonna use that. If you can't manage $3,000 well, then you can't manage even more money well. If you can't make ends meet with $3,000, give or take, depending on where you're at in life, then you aren't going to be able to manage well with a whole lot more. And people like to say, oh, I just need more money. I need a bigger raise. I need something, a better job. But the problem is, you're not actually using the money you have well. And you know deep down that you aren't using that money appropriately. Because if you just do a little bit of quick math, I'm going to do all this in my head and it's not going to be very accurate, but just to get a picture, if you buy one coffee a month, that's $7. 7 times 12 is, I should not have done that one, somewhere around 70 something, 74 I think. That's $74. That's not too much money, but you definitely don't buy just one coffee a month. You probably buy, let's say 4. That's for me. I buy 4 a month because I only get 1 a week. That's my rule. And that's not a lot compared to some people, I'm pretty sure. But so 4, that's $28. Let's say round it up to 30 with tax. 30 times 12 is about $360 a year. And that's only 4 coffees a month, 1 a week. And that's still $360 a year. And people complain about a gym membership being too expensive. For me, that's more than I pay for my gym membership. Somewhere in here, you're starting to notice a pattern that we're spending way too much eating out, but we don't keep track of it. And therefore, everything in our budget just feels like it's not fitting. And I'm not talking about super precise budget, I'm just talking about very basic budgeting. If you're spending money eating out, you're not spending it elsewhere. But the problem is, eating out is just so easy. So let's take a look at the reasons you eat out. The reason I would eat out, one is it's quicker, one is it just tastes better and it's awesome, and it's easier maybe, quicker, easier, yeah, easier, we'll say easier. So those are the 3 reasons I think people would eat out. That's why I eat out. And the reason I do that is because I think it's going to be quicker if I go somewhere. Well, turns out you can actually have a pretty quick meal when you eat at home, because we're factoring in going to, whether it's DoorDash or going through a drive-through, we're factoring in just the experience of getting the food. And we're like, well, I got my food immediately. I didn't have to put much work into it. Well, here's the thing. You're actually driving to the place, or you're DoorDashing it is a little bit extra. You're paying even extra. DoorDash is just dumb, unless it's an absolute emergency. But say you're driving to a drive-through and you go there, and at the drive-through, you're waiting in line at the drive-through. It's probably not super duper short unless it's Chick-fil-A, and then you're paying a little upcharge because Chick-fil-A is a little more expensive. And then you drive from that place, you're eating it in the car, so you're not enjoying it that as much, or you go to meet somewhere, eat out somewhere. And as you're doing it, you're spending way more than you thought. And then if you go to a place that is a sit-down restaurant, number one, you're waiting for your food to get there. Yeah, it can be a great conversation thing. I'm just saying by yourself, if you're going to just eat and it's just easier and you're eating out to eat out because it's easier, then you're going there, you're sitting down, and now you're wasting more time. So it's not quicker. So So no matter what you do, unless you're DoorDashing, which you're paying an upcharge for, if you go through a drive-through or if you go and sit down, it's not quicker than going home and cooking a basic meal. Now, I'm not saying super fancy meal, I'm gonna get into that in a bit, but I'm just talking about basic eating out. If you are eating out, you're not actually saving time. Second thing is the quality of the food, thinking that you're gonna get better food, it just tastes better. And I'm talking from a guy's perspective of probably, I'm thinking of my previous roommate who just would throw in some rice and some ground beef and mix it up, throw some sauce on it, and that was his cooking at home. And that's very basic. There's some things I've done that's even easier than that, and it's not that simple or basic or boring. But the thing is, once you actually start cooking at home and you find out a system that works for you, you're actually, number one, saving a lot of money, but also you're getting a lot more food, and it's better quality food. So for example, if I make some really quick and easy chicken nuggets, and I'm going from a chicken breast that I bought at Aldi in a package, and it's frozen, and I thaw it out, and I cook it, and I season it and cook it all the way through, that's about 20 to 25 minutes. It's not much quicker to drive to McDonald's, pick up some chicken nuggets, and then get back. And the thing is, the quality of the food is actually better. And I'm not talking just about fast food, but like even if you go out and eat somewhere kind of nice, maybe it tastes better, but you can learn how to cook and make it actually kind of good. If you don't want to learn how to cook, or you say you can't cook, then you're lying to yourself. All you have to do is look up some very basic recipes. And the thing is, if you mix ingredients a certain way, it's gonna taste a certain way. And sure, there's some human error in there, but it's not computer coding. It's not something super crazy. Like, you can actually make a decent meal. Now, you can take it to the next level. You can be a super duper cool chef. I'm not there yet, but if I just want to make some food, I know how to make some food, and it's great, and it tastes pretty good. And the thing for a guy that I really love is I can eat as much as I want. It is amazing. Sometimes I'll eat 2 chicken breasts because it's just awesome, and I don't have to go buy another 10-count nugget and feel bad because it's fried. I'm just eating as much as I want. And the thing is, when you buy food at Aldi or Walmart or Kroger or Publix or wherever you're going to buy and shop for food, it's amazing when you can get as much as you want. And the thing is, I might spend $100 on groceries for the week, but if you do the math, that's pretty great because I'm eating every single meal based off $100 of groceries. If I were to eat one lunch out, that's probably anywhere from $15 to $20 to get full. And it's one time. There might be leftover if you don't eat a lot. But if you like to eat a lot, it just makes 0 sense to be eating out. And so let's do a little bit more math. I'm gonna do it in my head again, so it's probably not gonna be super duper accurate. But let's say you're eating out lunch every single day of the week, all 5 work days of the week. It's $15, let's say minimum, bare minimum $15. And let's just say that you don't have to pay a tip, you don't have to pay for a drink, you're getting a really, really good deal at $15, which is, if you've eaten out, you know it's not actually costing you $15, it's a lot more than that, typically. And so, $15, 5 times 15 is 75. That's $75 just for a lunch. And then say you eat out one supper, and it's a pretty good supper, let's say $25. That's not even including breakfast and all the other meals that you could have in there. And the thing is, when you actually look at it on paper, it just makes 0 sense. And so, what I want to challenge you to do is to just not eat out. Just don't eat out. Cook at home or cook at your apartment or do something other than eating out. And the thing is, it's easy to say just don't do it, but here's how it works for me. Number one, I cook okay food. I'm not gonna say it's great, but I like it. And if you make something that you like and it's not there to impress somebody, then it's great. You're not cooking to impress, you're cooking for yourself, so cook what you like. And I love a lot of food, and I love meat, and I love bread, and I just like cooking because I know I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna eat it, and it's gonna be great, and I can eat as I'm cooking. I can snack on whatever while I'm cooking. And the fact that I'm not eating out is just so much healthier. So the health side of that, you can become a nut about it. It's great, it's crazy. I don't really care about the health side. I just do it because of cost, and it ends up being a lot healthier anyway. So then once you enjoy cooking and actually making food that's good, and then, you might meal prep some, but I have found meal prepping is kind of exhausting. And if you spend a whole day getting every single meal planned out, yeah, it kind of works, but for me, it's just exhausting, and that's where I don't like cooking as much. So I'll cook one big meal on the weekend that'll last a little while, for example, lasagna, and then I'll cut it up into different portions, eat it throughout the week for lunch. And then on Tuesday night, I'll cook something else that'll last a few days, and then Thursday night, I'll cook something that lasts for Friday, and then Saturday restart, eat a big meal because I have time to cook on Saturday. And of course, I'm in the season of life where I actually can cook. I have time to cook. I'm not gonna imagine you're in the exact same spot. But if you are spending money eating out, it just makes zero sense. And the reason you're making it work and make sense in your head is because you're not putting it on paper. If you put it on paper, it just doesn't make sense to eat out. Now, if you have enough money and you're just rolling in money, sure, you can eat out as much as you want. But I promise you, it's not wise, and it just doesn't make sense. So my rule is, number one, I enjoy actually eating. And so I cook, and I enjoy when I'm cooking, and it's great. And then I can eat out, but the only time I can eat out is if I'm eating out with somebody else. So if I'm gonna eat out with a friend, that's okay. It is okay. Even then, I try and invite them over, or find, hey, let's meet and eat lunch here, and I'll bring mine or something. I'll try and find a way to get around it. And it's great having people over your house and cooking a meal together. It's a great way to get to know them. Good old-fashioned hospitality. Doesn't work all the time, but it's a great way to not just always eat out. Because when you eat out, it just always gets more expensive than you think. Because the actual meal may be $12, but then the drink is $3, and I don't typically get a drink. And then you feel like you have to tip and then tax, and then somehow in there, if you're really hungry, you want to get something else. And it just doesn't make sense. And so if you haven't heard someone look at you and say it doesn't make sense, well, this is it. Just cook on your own. It just doesn't make sense to eat out, and you're losing a lot of money. And if people are complaining about not having enough money, if you think you don't have enough money, then just stop eating out. And you'll actually realize it's actually more fun to cook. Maybe you won't realize that. Maybe you hate cooking, and maybe it'll take a lot of warm up to it. But like, I genuinely enjoy cooking and eating as much as I want and whatever I want all the time. It's great. And then I'll pack a massive lunch in my lunchbox, and it's a huge weighty object as I carry it into work because there's so much food in there. And sometimes I don't eat it all, but it's great. I just enjoy eating food. And you learn that when you are cooking your own food and making your own food and designing whatever you want, sure, there's gonna be a little more effort involved, but it just makes so much more sense, and the trade-off is amazing. So if you're really busy, you can learn how to meal prep. If you're wondering, the only other time that I will eat out is if I'm traveling. I've just decided it's not worth it to try and be super duper frugal when I'm traveling. And maybe I should just be super duper frugal and it'd be great, and someday I'm gonna try it. I just don't travel enough. So it's kind of that once every 2 months, I'll go on a decent sized trip where I will just pay for some nice food, or, so I'll enjoy eating out. And it's fun to eat out every once in a while. But that, for me, in this season of life, is how I'm doing it. I'm not saying I'm gonna be like this the rest of my life, but it just makes sense to just not eat out. And it takes a little bit of discipline, but once you see how it works, it's great. And once you get past the freezer food and you actually learn to cook a little bit, it's great. And I'm not gonna say it's easy, but man, it's so worth the trade-off. And so if you just need someone to look you in the eyes and say, it makes no sense to eat out and you should stop eating out, and you feel like you don't have enough money to do stuff that you want to do, and you never have enough money and you're not saving enough money, well, stop eating out.